Stars, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey guys, welcome back here to Snowman86. You join me on another episode of Cattle and Crops. Today we are working on the recent field purchase. We did discuss purchasing this field here, but as we discovered, we did not have the required reputation. So we scrapped that idea and we jumped to the big field here alongside the farm. So we are putting in, I believe it is barley we've gone for. And we've also rinsed out the Hammer King, which will enable us to fertilize the field as we sow. So hopefully speed the process up, and going from there we'll be going probably towards harvest, as most things are looking pretty good. So with that said, we won't delay any longer, and we are at the field. So we're just going to quickly set up a GPS line. Bear with me here for a split second. We're just going to adjust our line. Something like that would seem decent. Just going to increase our width out, not going into full 6 as sometimes we do leave a skip. And that should be our GPS setup. Next, and this is something that is always, well, it does confuse me just a fraction. Our spread rate, we have, as you see on the bottom right there, MPK 15 15 15, a full tank. So we'd like to try and use the full tank if we can. So we're just going to bump our spread rate to 350. We'll check how that does for us. So we'll exit out of that. We'll just unload here as we go. Remove the HUD. So we've everything that we want done. So we're just going to engage our GPS. Cruise control on. And we are seeding. So they say we're going for barley in this field, just so we don't have everything done in wheat. It'll give us enough variation throughout our crop, and also this will give us another field that we can put to maize next year when we start rotating our fields. And the beauty of this as well is any other field we get from between here and next season will also be going towards maize. So we do need to buy a seeding unit, and I'm kind of leaning towards this, the Hammer King. Kind of works out roughly around the same money as if you had to go away and buy the 6-meter corn drill and then the 3-meter seeder. So why not just go away and get 2 6-meter units? My mind works out well. It'll come in at just over 100,000, I believe, all in. So does have the advantage that it will also, as I say, fertilize, and it'll probably reduce some of our need to what's the word I'm looking for here, cultivate the ground before we go seeding. That's what I was looking for. Just going to try and get back in on this row, and going to be just leaving just a little bit. So that's our aim, as I say. We're just going to be looking towards buying this unit, I think, is the way we're going to go. We do currently have enough money in the bank. Not sure why we're getting two different colored textures there. Field is definitely wet. If we pan out to this side, we do have some wet patches in the field. The date is the 5th of March. So we are about, I think, 2 weeks on from our last video in game time. So once we have this done, hopefully we'll be sorted. And one thing we do need to do is just quickly bump over to, we'll probably track the phosphate level, as that is the lowest. And what's concerning me there, straight away we spotted an issue. And if I go in here, we didn't turn on our fertilizing system, so that's clever on my behalf. So we'll turn that on now, and hopefully we should start seeing a bump across the field. There we go. Will it give us enough as we go around the field here? We'll see how we go. Hoping to kind of empty tanks as we go and do this. Definitely don't want to be returning any of that. Cost money. So we're going to skid that along here, and we're just going to keep going. As you can see, the moisture in the ground there, it's a nice touch in the game. In terms of game updates and stuff, I have nothing to report. I haven't seen anything from Cattle and Crops in a while. Not to say that's concerning or anything, I suppose, considering the crisis the world is in. These things will be slowed down. So a bit of understanding and time is probably required. So fingers crossed we'll hopefully have something maybe coming into the summer or even into June. It would be nice to see, but again, understandable as to why we won't probably have that. So also hopefully that we don't run out of seed here. We seem to be tracking okay on fertilizer at the moment. Probably could up my spread rate just a fraction. So I think we might just bump it. Oh, that's too much. So we're gonna kind of bump it up by, oh man, not good when we're driving across the field doing this. We'll just track it up there to 400, see how we go. At least we have the system on now. That's a great start. So this little radial menu brought up the center mouse wheel, and then you have options for your tractor, so you can work your hitch, you can open doors, we can open the sunroof, and it oh well, I've just discovered something quite new there. By scrolling the wheel we come into a light page, so we can adjust all our lights. This is new to me, so stumbled across that. What do we have here? Our weight. You can attach and detach on the last page. This page is where we were, which is our door, sunroof, four-wheel drive. We can adjust our mirrors, which is nice. Rear wiper, front wiper, and back to lights. Corn King also has one, and this one doesn't. So that's something new for me there. learning on the fly. We don't want to go too far, as I think I might have done on the previous one, but we'll see how we go. It looks a little bit high. And so the process is fairly simple. We're just going to keep going up and down the field, forwards, backwards. We're just going to get as much just barley in as we can. As I say, edging towards this Hammer King, I think it'd be a good purchase. Another purchase we need to look at is a combine. We might look for a mod, just so we're not going away buying the biggest combine we can buy. I know there was a New Holland one out there, but not sure if it's been updated to the recent patch. So we'll have to see how that plays out first. And that's one thing then to bear in mind is future updates. We need to remove the mod, and we'll end up losing money. So we'll see. We might end up buying the bigger version of the class that's in the game. Sure, there's only one header. I'll quickly check that here as we edge towards the edge of the field. And yes, 9-meter header with the class, and we'll have a proper look there once we just turn on this headland here. We'll remove said HUD. So we'll jump back in here and we'll have a little look around. This is the header for what I believe is the forage harvester. We're going to just cut crop or grass, whole cropping I suppose is the word I'm looking for there. There is said forage harvester. And then we have the corn head or maize head, baler, which again we'll probably need to invest in a baler at some stage. And this being the combine, we'll probably end up running with the header. That's the corn head. Don't think we have another combine to use, so we don't. So I think that is the way we'll run it. Expensive bit of gear. Is it 300,000? I think is what it's looking for. So we're a bit away from buying one, but definitely still working towards it. Obviously, a forage harvester as well. Quite expensive machines, but hopefully we do have a few more bulls to sell off once we have this field done. So on selling those, I think we're up around 150,000 or 145,000. So we're not doing too bad. The other option, of course, is to just keep renting the gear from our dealer, and we just keep buying fields. So obviously the more fields we have, the more we can work, which in turn will give us a better profit margin down the line. So there's lots to be debated, and it'll just kick in. So we'll jump in cab just for a little bit. So we're making nice progress up through the fields. As I say, we do have more bulls to sell. We are out of silage from the BGA, so depending, we will fill the farm silo again, take priority, start fermenting it, and once we have that ready to go, we'll probably switch the cattle straight onto that and then just start selling directly whatever silage was left in the other pit over the winter. And obviously anything that's excess from the fields will again be going straight to the BGA. So should be looking at a good maize crop again this year, but this coming year, or the following year, 2003, I think it is in game time. Yes, it is. That one will probably be a little bit tougher, depending on what we do, unless we invest in a couple more fields just that we can keep our maize production quite high. Which, if we pull up the map, you will see there's still good options. We can have these top two fields, so we can go for this field here and this field here. We're coming to the end of our run. So as we come up on our run, we're just going to drop back in and we're away again. So we do have these two options as fields. Failing that, we can push back towards field 3, I think it was, that we originally owned, and rebuy. Failing that, we also have a couple of areas out here that can be worked up, so plenty of options close to the farm. So we'll see how we go on it. Eventually we will be turning a field to grass as well, as we do aim to get into the grass side of life and see how that works as well. If it's a better yield than maize, probably will be, as you can probably cut it more than once. So all these things to play for, but we'll definitely probably look at expanding out this area. Two nice chunky fields here, and that will give us a nice spread around the yard. Just on the next turn there, we'll check our price and we'll see how we are looking. So what we might do for the short term, if we just close the eye section, our GPS is still running, but now we cannot see our lines. So getting close to a headland, we'll go for an old aerial overshot view. So once you get used to the equipment you're drawing, you can turn off the GPS lines. Sometimes it's just easier when you're lining up just to have them on so you can see what you're doing. But in this regards, we're doing quite okay, so we're just going to jump in here again quickly, guys. Sorry now for all the jumping around. We were looking at this field, 31,000 to buy, field 11, 86,000, but that is a monster field, so that could be the way we go. Start with the monster field, and that should enable us to buy this field, and there's no checking up here to see if there's any stipulations on it, and there is not. Same with this field. This one is the one we couldn't buy, so you just gotta be careful. You see, there's on the outer skirts, you do require a bit more reputation and stuff to buy the field, so it's definitely something we will have to look towards. But hopefully now we've started into the cereal crop side of life, and we'll be selling bales, we'll be selling grain, so that all bodes well for the future. Also, what we will do on one of the fields that we have a cereal crop on, we won't bale it, we'll be just ploughing it straight back in. Want to see, does this increase fertilizer, or does it give us any kind of nutrient boost to the ground that we're running. So basically it'll tell us then that do we need to invest heavily in that side of life, or is it something that if we just don't bale it and put it straight back in the ground, we should hopefully there see a boost. And that is our other field of corn over there, growing away nicely. Something that I do love about this game is that right there, and zoom right on the back wheels of the tractor and you'll see it is the ground deformation. Noticing the front wheel is not really leaving a track, which is a tiny bit concerning there, but and again you get the wheel mark from the seeder as well, and then it's all covered up in the end as we're planting. So something that would be nice to see is if you're driving in wetter ground, you leave a deeper rut. If it's drier ground or the wetness value is less, you probably wouldn't sink in as much, so then again you wouldn't leave much of a track. So those kind of things, if that's even something they're thinking of, I don't know. But beggars won't be choosers. We have the feature in a game, and it doesn't disappear once you load out and load back in. So I won't be fussy on the depth of the track. Just be happy that we even just have it. So GPS should kick us in again. And we're back to seeding. So we're running into a tight little kind of corner here, so we'll have to see how we go. We could, yeah, we might bail out of this section here and just start backtracking across the field again, filling in the rows we left. That way we can get the headland here at the top, and we should get a good chunk of the headland down there. Yes, we will. And then we can kind of come back to this corner and play with it. Is there still a two-toned effect? There is. I was just looking, it looks a little bit drier on this side of the field again. Just that center piece there where there's a bit of a hollow you can see is holding water. And that's a nice little feature too, that anywhere you kind of can see that hollow, it does hold a drop of water as well. So I'm just going to accelerate down here to the end of the field. And we're going to make our turn in, and we're just going to start back on the filling passes. Hopefully I say, not skipping much if any. So we seem to have a good overlap there on the GPS. I find when you run it to the 6 meter mark, it just sometimes skips that little bit here and there, and no, fine for some people. I just don't like it. I like to kind of plant as much as I can. Don't ask me why. Even in farm sim, like that as well. Don't like to miss bits on the field. So we can see one of our silos there slowly being worked on for our cattle, and as the season progresses that should be slowly emptying. As I say, if it doesn't empty by the time the next silo is ready to go, we will just sell it. We want to be giving our cattle the freshest we can so it doesn't stunt them or anything like that. So that's what we'll be doing, and we'll be selling straight from that pit then there. Hopefully we'll get a fair idea of where we run to on feed over a year. Once we get that value, be it maybe 400,000 litres, then we'll just start filling our pits to the kind of 400, maybe 450, and that gives us enough room to kind of do our cattle towards the end of the season. Pit will naturally empty itself, might have a small bit in it, and it should reduce a little bit of the bulk work, and also we should be getting a better value throughout the year then from the BGA side of life. So BGA did pay us handsomely for what we did sell there. I think I made, can't remember quite offhand, it's probably in my bank. Is it? Don't know. Bank, no. Current month, will it be there? Don't think it will be. It's just showing us our prices. Can we get last month? No, we can only get today. Can't select any other date, so we're not sure, but I think off the top of my head it was in around the 40 to 50,000 mark, is what we made from selling from that BGA. I think, was it 800,000 litres we had in there, so not bad money. And also we get the runoff as well to put back out in our field, so it saves us on fertilizer costs and stuff. So definitely something worth to keep an eye on and keep doing now that we have the big tanker as well. So we're really just short. We need to get ourselves a seeder, which we're aiming at possibly this one, and then we are looking towards harvest equipment, balers. If we're going for grass, we'll have to get a more, so we've lots to play with, or failing that we can get the whole crop mower for the forest harvester, and hopefully, fingers crossed, will work for grass. It's all a bit of a testing and testing and trialing things here, and a bit of see what works and see what doesn't work. The new Limpkin seeders are nice, but I think this just makes a little bit more sense for me anyway. I think I'm going to start running the Hammer King on a full time on the farm. So we're getting pretty good. How are we doing on values? Holding pretty good seed. Fertilizer, we're getting close to halfway. So we probably could have dumped it out a little bit heavier. Now we don't want to have too many different strips in the field, as it gets harder to claim it back unless you run the field into a negative value in all areas again and start as a reset kind of, but we don't aim at doing that. So whatever we get it to, we get it to. Under out of interest, if we go map and we are working here, you'll see our values have come up a bit. Phosphate is still kind of low, so we can spread phosphate on it, and that's the one we are tracking at the moment. So, but it was low to begin with, but we do have some phosphate in a tank in the yard, so if needs must, we can come out and spread another maybe 150 pounds per acre, I think it is. Can come out and spread that on the field just to get us out of trouble, but we'll see how we go. Ideally we want our crops in the green values while growing, definitely. Not sure if it's I know we did the test on the no fertilizer versus a field that was fertilized. Yield results was massive. Definitely worth doing, but as I say, then what I'm thinking is obviously it needs it more when it's growing than when it's fully ready to go. So I want to make sure those values are green for a good chunk of its growing life. Towards the end, I don't think it'll matter too much. But it will be interesting to see if we probably will test the theory on a smaller field here with the wheat it is, and see if we don't bale it, if we just plow back in the straw. It'll be chopped straw obviously, but if we just plow it back in, does it give us a boost to the field? We'll see how that works out for us. So I think we've waffled on here enough again, guys. We're nearly, well, I won't say we're nearly finished the field, but I'll plug away at it and we get it done. As I say, we'll be looking to sell on a couple more bulls as well, and we'll probably be coming back next week doing a quick field tour and update, make sure if there's any jobs that we need to do, like maybe spread more phosphate out here and stuff, that we get it done before the growth season really kicks on. And then we should be looking strong for hopefully a good year ahead. So that's it, guys. I've been Snowman86. This has been Catlin Crops. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. If you do, please leave a like in the video. If you want to see more of this content, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, I'll see you on the other side. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again.